So, dear friends, good morning and good afternoon to each one of you, wherever you are. I warmly welcome you all to this important moment of sharing, and I extend a special word of gratitude to our translators, whose generous service enables us to listen to one another with clarity and unity. Today is not simply about presenting action plans. It is a decisive moment of commitment. These plans are not documents to be archived or mere written ideas, but living expressions of our faith translated into concrete, measurable, and transformative actions. As the letter of St. James reminds us, for as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. James 2:26. This challenges us to move beyond passive belief towards an active, visible, intentional, and impactful witness. Our action plans, therefore, must be specific in purpose, measurable in impact, achievable in context, relevant to the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor, and time-bound in commitment. In other words, truly smart expressions of faith in action. As JPIC promoters, we are called not only to act, but to act prophetically, with our actions springing from prayer, discernment, and a deep relationship with God as modeled in the lives of those who came before us. Abraham, our father in faith, shows obedient faith in action. His willingness to offer his only son in response to God's call reveals a faith that trusts completely and acts decisively even in uncertainty. Jeremiah embodies courageous prophetic witness, speaking truth in a time of injustice, despite rejection, persecution, and personal cost. Thrown into a cistern and left to suffer, yet he remained faithful to God's mission, and his suffering became both the price and the proof of his prophetic fidelity. Amos reminds us of the agency of justice, calling us to bold and uncompromising action by denouncing the comfort of the powerful who live at ease while the poor suffer, and showing that true faith must confront injustice directly, boldly, and without compromise. Isaiah demonstrates that prophetic action flows from prayer, listening, discernment, and intimate trust in God. This reminds us that God opens the ears of the prophet, sustains the weary, and gives courage to act faithfully. Trusting in the Lord, the person sets his or her face like flint. This shows that true prophetic witness is rooted in a disciplined spiritual life and springs from a deep relationship with God, guided by the Spirit and sustained by divine trust. Finally, this prophetic mission finds its fulfillment in Jesus, the prophet par excellence. In Luke chapter 4:14-20, filled with the power of the Spirit, he proclaims, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, to bring good news to the poor, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor," showing that prophetic witness is never theoretical, but flows from intimacy with the Spirit, transforming prayer, discernment, and faith into concrete actions for the poor, the marginalized, the oppressed, the forgotten, and those in need. Dear friends, the world we live in today reflects these same realities. The poor are marginalized, the weak are exploited, and indifference often prevails. Like Abraham, Jeremiah, Amos, Isaiah, and Jesus, we are called not to remain comfortable, but to respond, to speak, and to act. Therefore, the action plans you present today are not theoretical exercises, but concrete responses to real injustices, commitments to measurable change, and prophetic signs of hope in a broken world, giving voice to the voiceless. Through these plans, you are choosing to speak, to act, and stand with the poor, the marginalized, the forgotten, and the oppressed, while challenging the structures and systems that perpetuate injustice. May your presentation today reflect careful planning, clarity, and structure, but above all, courageous conviction and prophetic vision. May your actions, like those of Abraham, Jeremiah, Amos, Isaiah, and Jesus, become a living witness of faith in action. Faith that does justice. Faith that dares to speak, act, and transform the world, even when it is difficult, costly, or matters most. Thank you to each one of you and welcome. And as expressed, our strength lies in our spiritual relationship with the one who has called us. So I would like to invite Father Vincent to lead us in prayer so that we can gain spiritual strength in this presentation. Thank you.
Dear sisters and brothers, I present in English as well as in Spanish. Those who do not know English and those who know Spanish can follow the Spanish. Peace to you. In this picture or in the following video, we see the people around the world, various faces. You can take a time to look at them. We shall pray for equal dignity and rights of the people. For our reflection, there is neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, male nor female, for you are all one. Do we have this unity, equality, and dignity in this world? As religious, we are called to promote one world, one people with multiple faces, languages, and cultures. We shall watch this video. We shall recall all these faces who are present around the world, and we shall pray for them. Again, this prayer is in English and Spanish. The first line is English, and the second line is Spanish. We can pray this in our very mild voice. We shall begin. God of all, you created every person with equal dignity. Help us to see one another as one human family. May cultures bring richness and understanding, not a division or fear. Bless the children of the world, protect them, let them grow in joy and freedom. Give dignity to all work so that each person may live with respect and security. Turn the hearts of the nations away from war and guide us to use the earth's resources for peace and sustainability. Unite all religions and peoples, the shared work of justice and harmony. Make us instruments of your peace. Amen.
Amen. Vincent, thank you so much for such a beautiful prayer. We are here, what we are here for is we are here for people, and you have shown us the faces of the people for whom we are here. So thank you very much. So now I'll invite Lucia to share the screen of the presentations that we are going to listen to this morning. So we have Sister Rita, Sister Seraphine, and Sister Yvonne. So we start with the one of Sister Rita.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Can you hear me? Yes, we do hear you. The title of this project is Integral Ecology, Regenerate Oneself in order to regenerate others. Can you go to the next slide, please? I'm Rita Zaninelli. I'm a Combonian missionary sister of the province, United Europe, with the chapter of 2022. The communities of the provinces of Europe have a new configuration titled Province of the United Europe. So, thinking about this project, where I reflected a lot of the context that we are living as a province, I put the date of September 2026, September 2027. I introduced myself. I'm in Rome in the community, and the address Via Paulina. It's in the last 8 months. I'm integrating part of the Ministry of the Commission of the United Province of Europe, a missionary component, as a reference person of JPIC. In this month, I have traveled a lot to get to know, to listen, and enter into a relation with realities committed in the social dimension of evangelization, rooted in the territory of the dioceses of Rome. To be present to ecclesial events and not guided me towards some existential peripheries. Personally, the art of waiting patiently for the right time, I grasp this as a relevant challenge. Instead, as regarding the ecclesial and social context being self-referential and fragmentation, I perceive them as the challenges that are taking on a crucial relevance today. Thank you. Next slide. So the goal of this plan is to take on lifestyles according to the paradigm of integral ecology shared by all the communities of the United Europe province of the Combonian missionary sisters. So this goal, I related this with a response to the cry of the earth and appreciation also of the community. And so this is a plan, an activity that I've thought for the month of October 2023 is to share the project with a retrospective gaze to acknowledge the path done as Combonian sisters in the community of the United Europe province on the integral ecology. The timeline is October. The indicators are two: the level of involvement and committed showed by the sisters of the communities of the province to the participation of the webinar, of the presentation of the project and collection of documents. Another quantitative indicator: 15 sisters of the province will participate in the presentation of the webinar, and they are involved also in collecting of documents. The second activity is that of collection of the documents. This, we call it as a retrospective gaze of the activities connected to integral ecology, sharing of new lifestyles, and what we're called as a community of Combonian missionaries. This is in the month of December of 2026. A quantitative indicator: 14 sisters of the province will participate in the webinar meeting, enriching the encounter with suggestions regarding good practices for new lifestyles. The second activity is to work on a memory text, work on this document with the proposals of new lifestyles as missionary Combonian sisters of the province. This is in February 2026, and I've chose as an qualitative indicator the level of involvement shown by the sisters of the community of the province in working on this text and the proposals of new lifestyles. Thank you. Next slide, please. The activity: organization of a meeting with the sisters of the province to present the project with the proposals of gathering of this retrospective gaze, and this through a webinar platform, considering that we are present with some communities in Portugal, France, Spain, Italy, and United Kingdom. And the cost, I haven't been able to assess specifically. I will refer to the provinces. The second activity that I've identified: organize the meeting to gather the documents and sharing of the new lifestyles. Still again, webinar platform, and again, reference to the province and the working of the document, a retrospective gaze, proposals of new lifestyles, involvement of the communications team of the province, and promotional material. As for the costs, I haven't been able to assess the costs. Thank you. Next slide, please. And so, how do I feel our charism as Combonian sisters? It's related to this project, to the call of Saint Daniel Comboni, that called all the entire church and all the people of goodwill not to go by in vain. The time of Africa, Pope Francis, in facing a historical current moment, has helped us with his a very great shepherd to broaden our horizons and also to welcome all in the common home. Laudato Si, with everything is interconnected. By so doing, in our chapter assembly of 2022, ask that you continue participation to the platform Laudato Si for concrete commitment on the territory through the circumscriptions and the communities. And the general councils to support and promote our commitments toward integral ecology as an integrating part of our mission in collaboration with the Laudato Si movement, according to our Combonian style of inclusive collaboration. This in the acts of the chapter. It's the time to regenerate ourselves in order to regenerate others. This is a word that Saint Daniel Comboni made himself, taking it from the political situation of his time. And it's the charismatic word of Combonians in the acts of our pastoral and social activities. And so let's now look as the expectation results. The expectations after some time, I add this now, we still don't have a coordination of justice and peace. So it's to make sure that sisters of the province can become aware of a path of integral ecology already done, and of good practices and processes done, and also become aware that we live in a time of ongoing relationship and all that surrounds us. Therefore, the need for new lifestyles as a sign of our acting with responsibility toward the community, and to the community to take care of each one of its members. This mutual activity that is integrated with the past and with an eye towards the future in order to grasp the challenges and opportunities for the proclaim the gospel, the good news for the poor. A comment, the idea, the hope is that I have in my heart is that through this project, even if I perceive that it's not complete, but we can be discovered as sisters, the Combonian sons of acting together with the people, justice and peace, integrity of creation, proposes to us the method to see, judge, and act, known as the pastoral cycle, and highlighting the importance of the insertion in reality. This would help us not only as a tool that organizes and sets up the ministry, but to create a synergy of social science and spirituality, an overview of practical tools and professional and pastoral skills in the so doing. Here are some pictures of some realities of the communities present around the territory in Europe. Thank you.
Personally, I would like to congratulate Sister Rita because she's very new in this. And last year she participated in the workshop. She said, this is something I don't know anything. But can you imagine the marvel she has done? I like your way of not just jumping in, but you took time to visit the places concerned. You listened, you gathered information, and that has helped you to come up with this. And I find it is very inclusive. You are not just doing it alone. It is very inclusive. And I like the idea of what? This process is to help involve all the sisters, not just for you. Involve the sisters, and the idea of what? Identify new lifestyles, involvement. For me, I see already, this is the process of entering into JPIC. In this way, you are also creating awareness in your sisters in this province of the importance of JPIC. And I think the method you have used is very relevant. Thank you so much for taking this at heart. And I will now invite the people who are here if they have any clarification or question or comments for you. Thank you so much. Really, I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah. Any questions or clarifications or comments of encouragement for Sister Rita?
Sister Rita, you've done very well. Very beautiful planning. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? You can also put your comment. If you don't want to speak, you can put your comments in the chat.
Thank you for this presentation. I would like to know, what is the Comboni and Charism? I haven't really understood that. I know that there is a social dimension, but that's all. All I had is that I mean, or is it also related to some people, like a social dimension? Is it related to some specific groups of people? How do you define your charism precisely?
Sister Rita.
Thank you. Charism is a missionary charism. Therefore, Saint Daniele Comboni has thought about the Combonian family, because we're not just us sisters, but also we have brothers, as missionaries in the kingdom of God. Therefore, it is specifically in this expression that I mentioned of to regenerate ourselves in order to regenerate others. In this quote, a person, it's not, I add also some other, a person, regenerated person is going to become a tool, an instrument, an agent of regeneration for herself or himself, and as for the community, and also from the social sense. Therefore, another aspect has to do with Saint Daniele Comboni is that of to recuperate the dignity of people that rescue them, that live in different sorts of slavery around the world in the of his time, and that continues. Unfortunately, these different types of slavery still today in our context today. Therefore, these are some elements of our charism.
Yeah. Grazie. Is it okay? Sœur Geneviève, est-ce que c'est bon?
Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
Okay. Somebody else, any question for Sister Rita or compliment or anything?
I would like to thank her, because it starts from us, right? And we cannot do something without giving ourselves an example. That's very interesting, this movement of religious life in our time, to thinking also about the concern of many communities and congregation on the economic aspects. So where we invest and what banks, I mean, these are the concerns that because we want to start from ourselves to change. And this of ecology, which is definitely not easy. We did discuss during the formation about this. Sometimes our community are closed to this dynamic and try at home to fix things at home in order to proclaim something different. So thank you so much to put our house in order before asking others to do the same thing.
Yeah. So thank you, Adriano, for such a important comment. It's true. Any other? So if there's no, yes, go ahead. Yes.
You spoke about quantitative indicators. You spoke about 14 and 15 sisters for 2 different activities in general or in total. How many sisters are you, if you have a specific number, just to have an idea? It's a curiosity I have. How many are you? Configuration with after the chapter of 2022, we were with the sisters, because in Europe we have some communities, 3 communities that have a very meaningful presence of sick and elderly sisters, plus these community ministerial, we call them, are scattered. 500, a bit less. Now we are in the process of the new provincial team, and there's going to be also province with the new reconfiguration, where the communities of the elderly and sick sisters will become delegations within the province. So this project looks at the ministerial communities. Therefore, I tried to make a presence in Portugal and Italy, and more or less I considered 15 sisters. Perhaps they might be less. That's more or less. I wanted to dream a bit big. So this is why 15. Thank you. Very ambitious, but feasible. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other? You can read it. You read yeah, go ahead. So the question is general for all of us to answer. What do we say? how do we fund our JPIC, what is it called, projects in our various regions?
Well, considering, as I said before, the reality of JPIC is something new, among inverted commas, after a pause due to a specific reality, the province has allocated, since there is not a past on this, so allocated a certain amount where I try to manage this amount a little bit, resources, the activities. We are writing a story. I don't have a pass from where to as a province in this, but I'm trying to make best of this. Perhaps others have different can enrich this in answering to your question, Sister Jethro. Yep.
Thank you,
Others
Sister Rita. I think your answer also is valid. Yeah, because a question doesn't have only one answer. So what you have answered is valid. So others can bring their own experiences. Any other person who would like to answer Sister Jethro's question? How do we fund our JPIC projects? I would like to share that for our office, our job here is to coordinate the JPIC, promoters of religious congregations who are members of USG and UISG. And this coordination is to enable the congregations integrate JPIC in their lives and in their mission. And if we see the project that Sister Rita has presented, I think this is what it wants to do, is to help first the sisters integrate it in their lives, and then they will be able to bring it to their missions. Our office, we don't do fundraising. The way we function with a little amount that the two unions contribute for us. This is what we use to manage the activities that run in this office. But we don't, how can I say, offer money as such. But it can happen that a donor gives money to one of the union to say, we want to help this. And if they offer that to us, then we can offer to people. But this is not something that is guaranteed. It happens from time to time, but it's not something that we say it happens all the time. Since I'm here, it has happened maybe twice. So our office is not an office that funds projects, because we are not even allowed to do fundraising. We don't write projects. We are here to ensure that religious congregations integrate. First of all, become aware of this office that belongs to all member congregations, and then help them to integrate it in their lives and then in their mission. Because we are called to be prophets in the world, we have to emulate that. And that is what the project of Sister Rita is saying. So I would just like to explain this. If somebody has what I know of many congregations is they do their budget every year, and when they're doing their budget, they allocate money for the different activities in the congregation. And for some congregations, as Sister Rita said, they allocate budget for JPIC. So other congregations, some they write projects to organizations that fund, and that is what I know. Anybody who would like to add something? Any other response? CC.
Yes. In our congregation, there is a commission that deals with all those matters. And every year, we create a budget for our commission that we propose to the generalate, and based on on the activities that we foresee. For example, last year, I organized a formation. The cost was 400 euros, or we could subscribe to a journal, a magazine, and then we present these budget to the generalate. Normally, they accept it because we do not ask for extraordinary things.
Thank you. Sister Genevieve, what is the name of your congregation?
Xavier.
Xavier, okay.
Xavierian, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
We are all French, but we also have communities in Côte d'Ivoire, Chad, and Canada.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other comment? If there's no any other comment, we will thank Sister Rita very much for this wonderful project, and we will be united with you, praying for you that the sisters will be open to embrace it. And we are very happy to have you in our group. Thank you so much. So we will give our,
Thank you.
we'll
Thank you.
give our, our translators tell us how many minutes do you need to breathe, and then we will come back to the second presentation. Is 5 minutes okay?
Perfect. 5 minutes
Okay.
sounds great.
Yes,
Great.
yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Merci.
please check your
Allora,
watch.
5.
We will
Allora,
come back
controllate.
after 5 minutes, and then we start again. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Looks as if we don't have the other two presenters. They are not on, so they're not here. So what we will do is we will ask for help to read their presentation, because both of them are in French. So we'll need the help of those who speak French to help us read their text. So like that, at least you know what they have. Otherwise, it will just be Sister Rita. Is it okay? Do we agree? Is it okay? Do you agree that we read? Okay. Lucia, you can share the screen. And the first one, I will ask Sister Genevieve to help us. And the other one, I will ask Sister Angela also to help us. Sister Genevieve, you will help us to read the action plan of Sister Seraphine. Yes, Sister. Okay. Sister Genevieve, please.
The presenter is Sister Seraphine Catram. The name of the congregation is Sœurs de Charité Dominicaine de la Présentation de la Sainte Vierge. The title of the plan is Strengthening Communication in the Couples for a Sound, Sustainable Family and for a Society of Peace. It will be carried out in Yaounde, Central Cameroon. So what is the context? Justice Peace Commission gathers the sisters of the order of the preachers of the lay people and people of goodwill. We want to manifest the goodness of God for everyone. So in the light of the uncertainties in the couples and in the light of the social violence, Justice and Peace Commission focuses on ecological questions and the strengthening of communication in couples for a society of peace, so that each couple becomes aware of the importance of the love of God and the responsibilities in the education of their
Sister
children.
Genevieve, can you read
Yes.
slowly, please? Slowly. Okay.
Thank you very much. It was too fast. Thank you.
Mhm.
Because of the unstable couples and the social violence, this JPIC mission focuses on the ecology and the strengthening of communication in the couples for a sound and sustainable family and the society of peace, so that each couple becomes aware of the importance of the love of God and of the responsibility in the education of their children, which suffer from their parents getting separated or divorced. So each couple should also become aware of the role it should play in the stability of the society. So the Commission commits to help Christian and non-Christian couples to assume their responsibility and their engagement and their commitment. So sorry. The goal of the plan: improving communication in the couples in order to avoid conflicts and promoting social peace. In order to achieve that, there are various goals related to Laudato Si, meaning the adoption of sustainable lifestyles, ecologic education, ecologic spirituality. Our first activity will be that of organizing a meeting with the various actors in order to plan our activities. It will be held in July or August 2026. As for our quality indicators, we will measure the satisfaction among the members of the project. And as for the quantitative indicators, we will have to focus on the sisters. Activity 1, formation of the actors on the strengthening of communication in the couples for a sound, sustainable family and the society of peace. And so we will organize formation workshops on technical skills and the strengthening of skills of the different actors on communication and peace. So these activity will be carried out in September 2026. We will assess the knowledge learned and the changes in the behaviors and the improvement in the communication of the different couples. We will engage 20 couples. As for activity 0, there is a discussion of the necessary elements. They need a meeting room and some material, meaning bureaucratic material. And the cost for the meeting room will be 75,000 francs fax, meaning 1,400 euros, and the total cost is 1,400 euros. As for the bureaucratic material, it will be 77 euros, and a refreshment will cost 45.73 euros, and catering 76.26 euros. As for the activity number 1, meaning information on the different topics, in order to strengthen communication in the couples, it will be necessary to have a psychologist, 2 priests, a doctor, a sociologist, an animator, an educator, and a sister. This generates a cost of 1,300 euros, and the catering will cost 2,400 FCFA. How can the charism of your congregation be related to the activities of your action plan? The activities of JPIC Commission belong to the Dominican charism because the Dominicans focus on the quest for the truth, for truth, mercy, and social commitment in order to answer to this need to strengthen communication. The JPIC Commission incarnates the charism of the Order of the Preachers because it focuses on the quest for truth and mercy and social commitment. The quest for communication characterizes the Dominican heritage also. So, fertility and results, outcomes. These actions allows to facilitate communication and comfort and bring comfort to all the actors. It contributes to improving our cohabitation in our society. It strengthens trust in communication and in justice and peace. It allows to reduce useless conflicts in the families. Some obstacles and difficulties may slow down the implementation of these projects, such as reluctant beneficiaries that do not want to change the behaviors, and some collaborators may not really be committed, and there will be difficulties in the coordination of activities because of a lack of commitment among certain couples.
That's the end. Okay. So you have listened.
Right.
Thank you, Sister Genevieve, for helping us to listen to this presentation. And I think this action plan is valid because if we want a good society, we need to educate the families. And I really feel that it will contribute also in healing our common home because human beings and our common home, we are interconnected. And if one has a problem, it affects the other. I really find it a very valid action plan. Thank you. Any other comment?
It is very true. For peace building, we need to have peace in the families. Our family is the first school where children learn the good habits as well as to live in peace. It's a very good project.
Thank you, Vincent. Any other comment?
I also just wish to offer my gratitude for the project. And one of the benefits of this our meeting is the learnings that we take from listening to the project of each other, the sharing and the challenges. So I'm really grateful because it helps also to open our minds to various areas of life that we can also engage in the different missions where we are. Thank you very much, Sister Genevieve.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Sister Jade. Any other? Otherwise, we'll give our translators again 5 minutes of pause to rest, and then we'll come back on the third presentation. Is it okay? Okay, in 5 minutes.
Monica, welcome. She's gone.
Now, this is the third plan we are going to listen to.
Good morning.
Bonjour.
Good morning. Thank you very much, sister, for giving me the floor. I am at the hospital and I can't turn on my camera. So it is a project that I had already presented, but then I improved it further. It is a project of Sister Yvonne. She's a presenter within the Commission Justice and Peace. So the title is Justice in the Urban Ecology, Common Commitment for a Healthy Environment in Yaounde, a case of the neighborhood of Babo Etetake Yaounde. The project will last 6 months. Who are we? The JPIC Commission gathers the sisters that are delegated by the female congregations of the Order of Preachers and lay people and also people of good will that all belong to the Dominican family. Our mission is that of manifesting the mercy, the divine mercy, vis-a-vis the creation. So everything that is related to humanity and to the present. So what is our commitment? Based on Dominican values, we commit to raise the awareness of the population and to promote hygiene practices and management ways that can transform our urban environment in Yaounde, the capital of Cameroon. We can do something also in relation to communication in order to improve the environment and make it more hygienic. So what is the challenge that we face? Yaounde, the capital of Cameroon, is less and less hygienic, which has an impact on the public health and the quality of life for the citizens. This environmental degradation in the town requires urgent interventions. But the citizens do not understand that it is this lack of hygiene that has a serious impact on their health. So we need to educate the children, make things change in the behaviors, first of all. And then we hope that the situation of the environment will change. So can I go on, sister? Yes. So what is the goal? Transforming sustainably environmental practices in the neighborhoods of Yaounde that have a lack of hygiene. We need to raise awareness based on the participation of citizens through a diverse network of local actors. It will not only focus on sisters and lay people of our Dominican family. No, we also want to engage people of the parish and then the people of the neighborhood and all the people that wish to participate in this project. So based on Laudato Si goals, we want to have a participatory approach. We want to directly engage the citizens, the youth of the parish and the authorities in all the phases of the project in order to turn it into a collective project. Because if we do it alone, we will not reach the entire population. Instead, if we engage everybody from the beginning, we will create something in the heart of everybody, something that is new. Also, we'll promote sustainable lifestyles, meaning green practices in our daily lives, such as separate waste management and recycling. That is related to health. And we have to show to the people what they can do concretely to have a clean life, because if the waste is there, clearly they will always accumulate. So what can we do to reduce them, to reduce their accumulations? So we need composting for plants and so that they can become fertilizers, and recycling also should be promoted. So then we need to promote separate waste management. Sorry, the sound is not clear. So we need to show people where they can throw away plastic and other materials. Little by little, people will understand what they should do also in the future. So it is a green education, create something that can last, that is based on the on the information of the volunteers and all the people that want to be involved. Also because we need to show people that clean cities can reduce illnesses, and we can educate the children first of all, and then this will spread in the entire society. Thank you, sister. I will move to the other slide. These are the activities that we will carry out. First, activity 0, planning, meaning. Then activity 1, formations, in order to engage with the actors. Activity 2, we will launch an awareness campaign in the neighborhood, in the parish, in the school. So in all the places where we can reach the citizens. And then finally, activity 3, meaning a concrete activity, a day devoted to hygiene with that is Akia, that is a company based in Cameroon that focuses on waste management, and be they're already carrying out activities in the parish. So these are the activities that we will carry out in order to reach our goals.
Me? Mhm.
So I move to the other slide. Thank you, sister. This is our budget. So this is the budget for all the activities, the materials that would be necessary in order to really carry out and implement our project.
Mhm.
How the charism of our congregation or of our order is linked to the activities of our action plan. The Dominican charism is already in the heart of this action. The activities of Justice and Peace Commission is deeply enrooted in Dominican charism. The focuses on the quest for truth, compassion, and social engagement. So we want to focus on the degradation of our environment in our town, Yaounde. We need to show how hygiene is important. So the quest for truth, formations and awareness campaigns characterize the Dominican heritage. The quest for truth is a central element of our charism. By educating the population on the causes and consequences of a lack of hygiene, we preach the green truth, the ecological truth, and then a proactive compassion. And then there is justice and protection. We are responsible of our earth that was entrusted to us by God, and now we're responsible for it. And our bad behaviors are eroding it, are destroying it, and we're responsible for that. In Cameroon, we have various illnesses caused by a lack of hygiene, also in our wastewaters. That is, our wastewaters are the main cause of our of malaria. That is a very that is very widespread in Cameroon. So we need to try to transform the daily life of our citizens, and we have to respect our common house. At times, our society is passive in Cameroon, but at times, for example, in Cameroon, you do not even find baskets, places where you can, there are no bins, places where you can throw the waste. So we need to change that. So it is not only a question of behaviors. So we need to tackle that to help the population also to become aware that I'm sorry, the sound is very is not clear. We try to translate all the same. So we need to pursue justice and protect our common house, our earth. Our action is a living witness, a testimony of our Dominican charism. So we shouldn't simply get used to what is dirty. So what are the goals, the outcomes that we expect? Based on our action plan, we want the youth to adopt a culture of cleanliness that is sustainable and that respects the environment. So we want to engage current and future generations. We want that this culture of hygiene, we want it to become important for all generations. So we need to reduce ways. We should see the results after 2 or 3 months in order to see what this culture of hygiene
Yvonne,
has
can you go
promoted.
slowly?
Sister Yvonne, can you speak? Thank you
Slowly,
very
so
much.
that
Thank you
to
very much.
help the translators. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. So we should understand that the culture of hygiene is related to a reduction in the waste and that we reduce illnesses. So with hygiene, the waste will diminish and then that will reduce the illnesses because if there is less waste in the street, the malaria, mosquitoes will find it harder to reproduce, and so that will reduce the various symptoms and illnesses, illnesses such as malaria and respiratory diseases and cholera that are consequences of this degradation, of this lack of hygiene. So people will understand that illnesses will reduce and that the air is clean and the streets are clean and there will be more bins. So this will strengthen the awareness of the people and also that will strengthen the sense of responsibility. So we need to raise the awareness of our citizens and in this way we will protect the planet. The erosion of this kind of awareness and the degradation of the planet are the things that we have to tackle. So we need to reduce the waste and the illness. In this way, the planet will not be destroyed in the future. But we cannot ignore the fact that there can be difficulties while implementing our project. And so we've already tried to identify a part of the population that might be reluctant to this change in our habits. At times, we are reluctant to be. We are reluctant. We're not open to what is new. So there can be also a changing commitment. The commitment might be weak. At times, people do not commit to change something because do not understand the good outcomes that this project would bring about. So it is very important to be patient and to accompany these people because it's not always easy for them to understand. So there can also be administrative obstacles. In Cameroon, you might submit a letter to get something and maybe you have to submit this letter 8 months in advance before having an answer. So the company is a campus will help us with the red tape. For example, we will have to submit a letter to the municipality in order to change something in the management of waste and the collection of waste. Also, there could be a coordination problem. It could be hard to coordinate the activities in certain neighborhoods that are quite far from the center. So we could start from some neighborhoods, but some other neighborhoods will be hard to reach. So these are the obstacles that may that may create some problems. The implementation of our project. So, in order to achieve this fantastic project, we will commit and we think that God will help us. Thank you for this possibility that you're giving us to create something new in the heart of the citizen, something that is more concrete and more practical. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Sister Yvonne. I must say I like the way you have connected your charism of preaching to JPIC. You see, because JPIC is at the base of every charism, but sometimes we forget about that. We are taking out about what is on the surface, but we don't ask the question, why did our founder or foundress found our congregation? So I really, and this is what we all need to start doing, to start digging deep, to understand why our founder founded our congregation, the charism that they are giving us, and what is the connection with JPIC. There's no charism that will say we have no JPIC as a basis of our charism. All charisms have this. So thank you so much. And one thing also I would like to say that is that in your in educating the people on how to make the city clean or where to throw the things, but you have to combine it also asking them to reduce waste. For example, if you're going shopping, go with your own bag. Don't collect the plastic bags that they offer you in the shops, because this is where we have all this dirt coming from, and they're just producing because we take them and we think it's fashion. You have to help the people to see the harm in that. And if I have a bottle at home, why don't I fill it with water rather than go to buy a bottle of water, a plastic bottle of water? So these are all the things you have to educate the people to understand, that there are things we can do by ourselves to reduce, first of all, the waste. And then the second thing is to find a better way of dealing with our waste. So it is really a valid project, and I like the way also of involving people at different levels and educate people to avoid, because even sometimes some of the plastic we are using, they're causing us problems, sickness. If we can avoid to use some plastic, some have no quality, you put hot thing, it releases chemicals into the food, you eat it, and then it becomes a. And one day I was following a presentation of one organization, and the lady who presented showed us a baby still in the womb of the mother, where there were microplastics in the placenta. And they have found microplastics in different things, different parts of human body. And that is not healthy. We have to educate people to start stopping to use some of these plastics, because the kind of plastic that we have in our countries in the global south, they are not the quality ones, and they also are causing problems. And if people can, you can even include a project where you sew bags with materials. People can get those, and when they go shopping, let them go with their own bags. They should stop collecting the plastic bags. If they stop, they will stop producing. They produce, those companies produce because we use them, and we are causing ourselves harm. So thank you so much for that project. Any comment, any question for clarification, or you need a response or encouragement for Sister Yvonne?
Dear Sister Yvonne, your project is very, very good. To respond to the cry of the earth and cry of the poor is a very good project. As Sister Mamalifar has said, microplastic has entered every part of life and every part of the body, and it is filled in the fish also. Therefore, the new diseases like cancer and many other intolerances come from this. Now, towards this, to maintain clean our environment is very, very necessary. And our people need to have this habit, develop a habit of not using plastics, not creating waste, also to clean from the public places. It's very much necessary and very beautiful project. Compliments.
Thank you, Father Vincent.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much, Sister and brother. Yes, I think that recycling could encourage the population to also to buy less. That could reduce the accumulation of waste. We should use what we already have in order to reduce what we buy. So we could bring our bags when we go to the supermarket. We should use the bottles that we already have at home. It is a culture that we need to teach to the population. Thank you very much, Sister.
Welcome. Thank you. Because they say every day there is like 5,000 tons of plastics are dumped in the sea. A time will come, we'll have no fish to eat. We'll have only the waste in the ocean. Yeah, thank you. So, Sister Rita.
Well, good morning. Thank you. It reminds me of a group in a small area of Dar es Salaam, and they call it the Kata. And they had a leader that was fantastic, and he managed to get all the people together to organize, to collect refuse. And in the end, it gave work to people. It created employment, and they found a place where to put their discharge, all the rubbish. So and other people from other places came to have a look at what was happening. So that was a wonderful way to deal with those very difficult problems of how to cope with refuse. So I'm happy to hear this project, and I find it really, in order to manage it, you need organization.
Yeah. Thank you, Rita, for giving that example. Any other person who would like a comment, encouragement, or question for Sister Yvonne?
I would like to congratulate Sister Yvonne for this very wonderful project. And at the same time, it is a great challenge. I acknowledge the great challenge. Also, to the fact that it highlights the basic education we need, basic formation, where often we give for granted. Also, in our cities or peripheries, I think about Rome, that I'm discovering Rome now. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a very inspirational project. Thank you so much, Sister Yvonne.
Thank you, Sister Rita. Any other person? Any comment? Any question? Any encouragement? Well, it looks like we have come to the end. If there's nobody else.
Mama, just 1 minute. Huh?
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful project. This can be an occasion for us to introspect personally. Do I use single-use plastic? See, this is an occasion for us to introspect personally. How I use the single-use plastic, how much I use. Another thing is, what is the use of single-use plastics in our communities? Also, in our purchase, are we responsibly purchasing? See, what I need, if a community needs 10 kilos of apple, I can buy 9 kilos or 10 kilos. If I buy 20 kilos because I have money, it's an occasion for us to introspect also. Thank you, Yvonne, for this.
Is Sister Seraphine here? Has she come? Okay, we have already read your project, and I don't know if anybody has a question for her, or do we do it again? Tell me what you think.
Maybe we can give our feedbacks to her project. We have already read it, no? Our compliments or any doubt, clarity that we need, we can ask her.
Yeah, okay. If anybody has a question or something for Sister Seraphine, if you remember what was read.
Yeah, Sister Seraphine, I liked your project. It is on building peace in the families. And I appreciate it very much, and we all have appreciated it because family is the first place where children learn peace and we practice peace. If there is peace in our hearts and in our families, there will be peace in the world. It's a very good project. Thank you, Sister.
Okay, thank you. Any other person?
Yes, that was on the formation of couples.
Formation of families, yes.
And the family. I think that it is an important topic. It's something that has become very important. For example, in Cameroon, I come from Cameroon too, and their families are experiencing situations that are very delicate for the children. They have to face also some new challenges such as drugs, prostitution. And when you speak with these children and youth, you realize that their families are not solid, are not sound. They were abandoned because their parents didn't have the means to pay for the food for the school, and so they were abandoned. So there is no more time for the children, and that's because the parents have to work all the time. So we lost our culture that used to devote time to the children. So we need to recreate a family solidity to avoid the erosion of the customs or the habits and of the culture in order to have more solid families, because families do not have the values, the right values that keep the families together and united. So that is typical of our African and Cameroon context now.
Thank you very much for that comment. I think we said family is the first church, and the first place for education. So, and parents do their best because they have not gone to school to learn how to care for children. So I think if we want solid societies, we need to have solid families, and we have to start now engaging the family apostolate to really help family may be places of values that they can pass on to the children. And these values come into the society, because we can't have that in society if we don't have that in the families. It's the first school for everything, for the faith, for values, for everything. So I think it's a very important project. Any other comment, question, addition? Otherwise, we will conclude that we can go and do other things. So, dear friends, yes, yeah, Lady.
I would like to know a bit more. Who are the people involved in this project for the families, for the couple? She talks about a psychologist. Can you tell me something more about the people that are going to be involved in the formation? How are they involved in this project? How do they act in groups or personally? I would like to know further more about this. Are they of that environment, or I would like to know further information about the people involved. How do they carry out this formation, the people, this reverence people? Yes, it's quite delicate to enter into the family and the couple. So how do they relate?
We create relationships with consecrated persons and priests, and also we involve doctors that could also take action, and the psychologists who, first of all, we start from the knowledge of the person. The person needs to understand who he or she is, and then they can recognize the other. There is the activity 3, in which I mentioned the various formators that can help these couples to solve the conflicts. Also, there is the health element. We can engage doctors and also psychologists that can speak about, for example, diseases that are transmitted sexually. Sisters, can you hear me? Yes. So we consecutive people and doctors, we can implement this project and help the person. Also, a gynecologist be involved in order to teach the people the right behaviors. It is hard to get in the life of the couples, but we need to do it in order to help the couples become solid. Yes, can
Sister
you hear me?
Angela, is your question
Sister.
responded? Do you have an answer for your question? Okay, gracias.
Yes, thank you.
So, Sister Seraphine, you have responded to her question.
Yes, if some of you want to participate and share their ideas, I would be very happy to hear you. Also, because maybe you work with children. So anyhow, we want to help the children, and the solid family is necessary to help the children.
Anybody with experience that you can share so that you can give some suggestions to Sister Seraphine? Anyway, think about it. If you have suggestions, you can always contact us and we will pass them on to Sister Seraphine. So thank you so much. Any other thing? Otherwise, we conclude. Okay, dear friend.
Sorry, I couldn't connect earlier. I think I was looking for the code. Maybe I needed a new code. So I couldn't connect. So sorry for being late.
Oh, no problem. It's okay. It's okay. You are here now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you.
So, dear friends, we have come to the end of these presentations this morning. In the afternoon, we'll have some also. I can say that we are not concluding a process, but rather we are launching a mission. What we have heard today are not simply ideas or intentions, but clear commitments to action. Each plan presented carries the potential to become a visible sign of faith in action, responding concretely to the realities of injustice, suffering, and hope in our world. We are reminded once again of the message of the Epistle of James, that faith must be lived through works. Therefore, what matters now is not only what has been said, but what will be done. In this spirit, let us ensure that every action plan presented today is clearly focused in its objectives, capable of demonstrating real impact, grounded in what is realistically achievable, and deeply attentive to the cries of the poor and the wounded earth. Each proposal should also include a clear sense of direction and timing, with concrete steps that guide us forward. In this way, our commitments become credible meaningful, and transformative, rooted in clarity of vision, purposeful action, unity of direction, and a spirit of collaboration that reflects the depth of our shared mission. The witness of Abraham, Jeremiah, and Amos now becomes our path forward. Like Abraham, we are called to act with trust and obedience, even when the path is uncertain. Like Jeremiah, we are called to remain faithful and courageous, even when our actions are misunderstood or resisted. Like Amos, we are called to speak and act boldly for justice, especially when the poor, the marginalized, and our wounded common home are ignored. Dear friends, the real measure of today's success will not be the quality of our presentations, but the faithfulness of our implementation. Let us leave this space with a shared commitment to act with agency and purpose, to collaborate with openness and responsibility, to evaluate our progress honestly and consistently, to remain prophetic through concrete actions, not just words. May these action plans become living instruments of justice, peace, and integrity of creation. And may our lives themselves become a testimony that faith, when lived fully, transforms both hearts and structures. Let us go forth, not just inspired, but committed to act. Our sincere thanks to each one of you present, especially the presenters. We pray that your plan bears impactful fruit. We thank the translators for their help that enable us to listen to and understand one another. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And may God bless you, bless your effort, so that we may go forward together, being prophets in the world. Thank you.
So thank you very much. See you.
So see you in the afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, there.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Sister.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Claudia and
Thank you.
Mariella.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So, good morning and good afternoon to each one of you. I warmly welcome you all to this important event of sharing, and I extend a special word of gratitude to our translators, whose generous service enables us to listen to one another with clarity and unity. Today is not simply about presenting action plans. It is a decisive moment of commitment. These plans are not documents to be archived or mere written ideas, but living expressions of our faith translated into concrete, measurable, and transformative actions. As the letter of St. James reminds us, for as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. This challenges us to move beyond passive belief towards an active, visible, intentional, and impactful witness. Our action plans, therefore, must be specific in purpose, measurable in impact, achievable in context, relevant to the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor, and time-bound in commitment. In other words, truly smart expressions of faith in action. As JPIC promoters, we are called not only to act, but to act prophetically, with our actions springing from prayer, discernment, and a deep relationship with God as modeled in the lives of those who came before us. Abraham, our father in faith, shows obedient faith in action. His willingness to offer his only son in response to God's call reveals a faith that trusts completely and acts decisively even in uncertainty. Jeremiah embodies courageous prophetic witness, speaking truth in a time of injustice, despite rejection, persecution, and personal cost, thrown into a cistern and left to suffer and die. Yet he remained faithful to God's mission, and his suffering became both the price and the proof of his prophetic fidelity. Amos reminds us, Amos is the social justice prophet, reminds us of the agency of justice, calling us to bold and uncompromising action by denouncing the comfort of the powerful who live at ease while the poor suffer, and showing that true faith must confront injustice directly, boldly, and without compromise. Isaiah demonstrates that prophetic action flows from prayer, listening, discernment, and intimate trust in God. This reminds us that God opens the ears of the prophet, sustains the weary, and gives courage to act faithfully. Trusting in the Lord, the prophet set his face like a flint. This shows that true prophetic witness is rooted in a disciplined spiritual life and springs from a deep relationship with God, guided by the Spirit and sustained by divine trust. Finally, this prophetic mission finds its fulfillment in Jesus, the prophet par excellence. Luke chapter 4, verse 14 to 20, filled with the power of the Spirit, he proclaims, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, to bring good news to the poor, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor," showing that prophetic witness is never theoretical, but flows from intimacy with the Spirit, transforming prayer, discernment, and faith into concrete action for the poor, the marginalized, the oppressed, the forgotten, and those in need. Dear friends, the world we live in today reflects these same realities. The poor are marginalized, the weak are exploited, and indifference often prevails. Like Abraham, Jeremiah, Amos, Isaiah, and Jesus, we are called not to remain comfortable, but to respond, to speak, and to act. Therefore, the action plans you are presenting today are not theoretical exercises, but concrete responses to real injustices, commitments to measurable change, and prophetic signs of hope in a broken world, giving voice to the voiceless. Through these plans, you are choosing to speak, to act, and to stand with the poor, the marginalized, the forgotten, and the oppressed, while challenging the structures and systems that perpetuate injustice. May your presentations today reflect careful planning, clarity, and structure, but above all, courageous conviction and prophetic vision. May your actions, like those of Abraham, Jeremiah, Amos, and Isaiah and Jesus, become a living witness of faith in action, faith that does justice, faith that dares to speak, act, and transform the world, even when it is difficult, costly, or matters most. So thank you for being here once again, and welcome. And as we know, prayer is our strength, our relationship with God. That is what helps us to see the needs of the world. So I invite Father Vincent to lead us in prayer.
My dear sisters and brothers, in this picture, we see the people of the world. You can take a minute to look at these faces. As we look at these faces around the world, we should also pray for equal dignity and rights of all the people. As Paul has written to Galatians, there is neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, male nor female, or you are all one. Recall to mind the efforts and forces today in the world are making one humanity with equal rights and dignity. And as JP's promoters, we join hands. All the people work for creating an equal society. Again, we shall see this video where we can see the people of all the world. We shall pray now that all the people, particularly children, may have life and joy. They all may have work to make their livelihood. The prayer is in Spanish and English. The English speakers can read the English, the others, those who can, read the Spanish. But we shall pray in a mild voice. God of all, you created every person with equal dignity. Help us to see one another as one family. May cultures bring richness and unending, not division or fear. Bless the children of the world, protect them, let them grow in joy and freedom. Give dignity to all work so that each person may live with respect and security. Turn the hearts of the nations away from war and guide us to use the resources for peace and sustainability. Unite all religions and peoples, the shared work of justice and harmony. Make us instrument of your peace. Amen.
Thank you, Father Vincent, for this prayer, which is very much fitting in what we are about. So now I'll ask Lucia to share the screen. So we have 3 action plans this afternoon, and this morning also we had 3. So now we will first listen to Sister Emelinda, who will present her action plans for us. So welcome, Sister.
Thank you, Sister. Good day to everyone. Thank you
Good day
for
to you.
thank you for this opportunity to share the revised JPIC action plan. I am very new to this ministry, and I am very grateful to present a plan that reflects the heart of our congregation and our desire to stand close to those at the peripheries. And before I begin, I would like to acknowledge that this plan has been revised and strengthened after the
Good.
initial presentation held last March 31. I am grateful for the valuable suggestions and short lecture offered by Father Vincent and Sister Mama Lifar, which helped clarify and deepen several parts of the document. Please, to the first, in response to their guidance, I would like to share that I enriched the judge section by integrating additional church documents. I changed the title, as you see, from I removed the title, the words Hijas de Jesus, the name of our congregation, because as I heard from Father Vincent, our work should not sound self-serving, but instead we highlight our shared mission of weaving networks of care. So the title now is Weaving Networks of Care as an expression of JPIC.
Great.
Okay. I also adjusted. Okay. Let me now go to this part. So across our congregation, we are present in many places where life is fragile. Among migrants, refugees, displaced families, marginalized communities, and in areas where creation is deeply wounded. As the plan states, these realities continue to multiply and call for deeper attention. And as a body present across 5 continents, we are invited to respond with compassion, discernment, and hope. The General Congregation 19 of the Hijas de Jesus echoes this concern, noting the persistence of exclusion and the throwaway culture. We recognize the urgent need for accompaniment, solidarity, and networks of care. This invites us to discern our real possibilities for participation and to embrace a spirituality of care marked by compassion, creativity, and shared responsibility. Move to the next. So here in the judge part, as I mentioned, I enriched this with some words from the Holy Father and some church documents. Illuminated by our charism of filiation and the spirituality of communion, we contemplate these realities through the gospel and the calls of the church. As Hijas de Jesus, we are invited to respond with tenderness, justice, and hope. In this message for the 9th World Day of the Poor, Pope Leo XIV reminds us that signs of hope are increasingly found in care homes, communities for minors, centers for listening and acceptance, soup kitchens, homeless shelters, and low-income schools. Many of these quiet signs go unnoticed, yet they help overcome indifference and inspire others to serve. He also affirms that the poor are not a distraction for the church, but our beloved brothers and sisters, for through their lives and wisdom, they bring us close to the truth of the gospel. Continue. And this vision is deepened by Laudato Si, which calls us to ongoing personal, communal, and institutional conversion, reminding us that everything is interconnected and genuine care for our own lives and our relationships with nature is inseparable from fraternity, justice, and faithfulness to others. As a congregation, we are invited to contribute our small but meaningful grain of mustard seed. The peripheries we encounter are not only social situations, but also spaces where we are called to make present the living Christ through our way of being and serving. A continuation of this part, in continuity with this tradition, the Compendium of Social Doctrine of the Church, number 195, deepens our understanding of solidarity, reminding us that we are debtors of the society of which we have become part, beneficiaries of an indivisible and indispensable society, legacy of culture, knowledge, and goods that make human life possible. And this awareness opens us to responsibility to present and future generations called together to share the same gift in solidarity. And as for our action, we are enlightened by this discernment and impelled by Decisive, number 16, which reminds us that preference with the poor emphasizes God's actions, which are moved by compassion toward the poverty and weakness of all humanity. We renew our commitment to strengthen our presence in the peripheries. In this spirit, we seek to create spaces we encounter, foster shared reflection, collaborate with institutions and congregations, offer JPIC formation, and reinforce networks of care. Through these efforts, we hope to weave relationships that allow marginalized people to receive the accompaniment, resources, and compassionate presence they need, rooted in filiation, solidarity, justice, and ongoing personal and communal conversion. In continuity with this vision, we continue working toward a community of belonging and solidarity envisioned in fraternity, where every person can experience dignity, care, and hope. Okay, so as for the location, I wrote there the geographical, social, and existential peripheries in the countries and continents where the Hijas de Jesus are present. And this plan is good for 3 years, beginning May of this year and would end on May of 2029. We move to the next piece. Okay, as a context, entrusted by our General Superior with accompanying our presences at the peripheries and strengthening collaboration in networks of care, I am beginning the long process of helping our communities recognize, embrace, and deepen their commitment to JPIC as an essential dimension of our shared mission. My first step has been to map our presence at the geographical, social, and existential peripheries, where many sisters already accompany people and care for creation. So this action plan seeks to support what is already alive, what is already existing, encourage shared learning, and lay the foundations for a deeper JPIC culture so that people at the margins may receive the care, accompaniment, and resources they need. As an objective, I wish to strengthen our presence at the peripheries so marginalized people receive the care, accompaniment, and resources they need, grounded in filiation, solidarity, justice, and ongoing conversion. Okay, now I like to present to you the activities that I also have devised. For activity 1, encourage communities engaged in JPIC ministries, especially those present at the peripheries, to share videos, testimonies, and simple materials that make their work and presence visible to the whole congregation through our webpage and communication channels. I did the liberty of placing there persons responsible, so it will guide me as I implement the plan. And as part of the revision, as suggested by Father Vincent last time, I divided, I showed this activity for 3 years, no? And so I divided it into three with the time frame and the indicators, the increasing number of participation, the increasing number of materials that I will be giving for this activity. So this activity will begin in June, and then it will end in May 2021. So every year there is an indicator, both qualitative and quantitative, to ensure that I will do the activity every year. Okay, next, please. Next activity is to visit the communities at the peripheries. And these visits aim to ensure that sisters feel listened to, supported, and connected, and they also help us understand the realities of the people they serve. As part of the indicator, there will be a number of visits. The number of visits will increase each year along with the number of sisters involved. So again, it's for 3 years. So each year has its own indicators. Next, please. Activity 3, organize encounter spaces, dialogue circles, community prayers, and celebrations for sisters and lay leaders serving at the peripheries that allow them to reflect together on the realities confronting justice, peace, and the care of our common home. This part I learned from other presentations last time. It's good to have the participation of lay leaders, so I included here lay leaders. So again, it's good for 3 years. Each year has its own qualitative and quantitative indicators. Before, create connections with people, institutions, and congregations committed to JPIC related work. Good for 3 years again, and each year has its own qualitative and quantitative indicators. This will be the last activity, offer online information on justice, peace, and integrity of creation within 3 years now. And so each year again, there are the indicators are written there, both qualitative and quantitative. So this is the missing part last time. I did not have the budget plan last time, but now I identified very minimal costs needed for implementation. So it will not cost much because most of the expenses are already shouldered by the general government. So being part of the government, so I just have 390 euros for 3 years. I do not know if that is too much or less because I'm still adjusting to the amount of euros I'm used to other denominations. So let's move to the next. Okay, this part is new. It's not part of the original format, but I heard Father Vincent also telling us that we have to also take note of some risks and how to manage all these risks. So I really added this one. Implementing this plan across diverse contexts involves certain challenges, limited availability of sisters, digital access constraints, language differences, and varying time zones will affect participation. So to be able to address this, we'll offer flexible online options, provide multilingual materials when possible, and coordinate schedules with sensitivity to local realities, which these measures aim to ensure broad and meaningful engagement. Again, this is my additional slide, coordination structure. To accompany the implementation of this plan, a small group of provincial contact persons will support coordination, shared discernment, and communication across provinces. And this little group will help me animate activities, gather feedback, and ensure that the spirit of communion guides every step of the process. And how does this Charism relate with the activities of our action plan? As you see there, our Charism is placed there, rooted in filiation, communion, simplicity, and closeness, which moves us toward the peripheries. It inspires us to create spaces of encounter, strengthen relationships, and care for life with tenderness and hope. I will not read the entire. As the fruitfulness, the plant hopes to deepen communion among sisters, strengthen networks of care, widen collaboration, and nurture a shared JPIC culture. Ultimately, it seeks to ensure that marginalized people receive the care and accompaniment they need. Another slide that I added, which is monitoring and evaluation. Again, I learned this last time. That progress will be reviewed annually through reflection reports from communities, feedback gathered during visits and consultations with the provincial contact persons. A midterm evaluation in 2027 and a final evaluation in 2029 will help assess the effectiveness of activities, the depth of collaboration, and the growth of a JPIC culture across provinces. These evaluations will guide adjustments and ensure fidelity to the plan's objectives. Okay, the process of shaping this plan has revealed both the richness of our existing commitments and the need for greater coordination, visibility, and shared responsibility. The diversity of contexts, languages, and time zones presents challenges, yet it also opens opportunities for creative forms of connection and accompaniment. Strengthening JPIC requires patience, formation, and ongoing discernment, especially as sisters balance many demands in their own local missions. The growing desire to strengthen our presence in networks of care reflects a deeper awareness that caring for life and creation is integral to our identity in the church. As this plan unfolds, it will be essential to listen attentively to communities, remain flexible, and allow the Spirit to guide the weaving of networks that reflect the compassion and hope of Jesus. So, as I have presented last time, these are pictures, and I added some more pictures. So, we are in collaboration with the Jesuit Refugee Service in Mae Hong Son, Thailand, where our sisters collaborate in the education and accompaniment of families. So I am showing in this picture, I'm showing you the normal way or road going to the camps. And in this picture, you see there the sister in the blue shirt. She's in charge of the training of the para teachers in the camp. And we also accompany parents and families by giving them some sessions on family dynamics. In the Philippines, we are present in Misamis Oriental, and part of our commitment to the poor as our solidarity in their desire to have a decent housing in collaboration with the Marian Fathers, we provided them decent housing. We call it housing project. So several families have benefited from this project. So the next slides will show you the houses. Okay, now this is the additional set of pictures that I will be showing you. We are present in Bangladesh, in Mynasin, in Israel, but in Israel this is a remote area, and we are working with the tribe named Garo tribe in collaboration with the Salesians of Don Bosco. We conduct village visitation. Now, one day when I went there, I revisited one village, and this village asked us to construct a chapel where they can also gather for Bible study and the sharing of the Word of God, etc. And in collaboration with the Salesians of Don Bosco, we were able to manage the construction of this small, simple chapel for the village. And the chapel is named after the name of our founders. And we continued the collaboration with Salesians of Don Bosco in the education of poor children and accompaniment of the youth in the district of Netrapona, Bangladesh. The Don Bosco, they have a school, and our sisters collaborate in the English department. And they also have this hostel for girls, and we manage their hostel. All these girls belong to the Garo tribe, and they come from different far villages. Next, and as our way of helping our workers, live in a decent place, we provided also uh, house for them. And on the picture on the left side, that's the house, the former house of our worker, and now on the right side, that's a more improved house for this worker. And in Bangladesh also, we have this dormitory apostolate for the Garo tribe. This time it's our dormitory apostolate. It's ours. And we serve the grades 3 to grade 10. Grade 3 to grade 10 girls from the Garo tribe living from poor villages. We serve them. Okay, so that's all for my revised action plan. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Sister Emelinda. What a wonderful action plan. And I like this idea of from inside out. You see, your project is inside out. Huh? You start by helping your sisters to understand what is JPIC. To embrace it, you use the word, say what? To deepen, first to recognize, to embrace, to deepen JPIC as an essential dimension of your charism. When we discover, it helps us. Otherwise, when we see it as something very separate from, then we lose interest. And I think this is, as JPIC promoter, this is one of the things we are called to do. I like your action plan. And it will be, you want to build first that collaboration from inside, the network from inside. I like the word you use, weaving networks. You see? It's really great. And we have to help our people to understand that JPIC is not something out there. It is something in here. Let us look at our charism, and connecting it with our charism will motivate people to engage. And thank you so much. And we come here to learn from one another. I see you have brought other things that people will learn from you, and then you will learn from others. And you have really done a thorough job. Thank you very much. And we wish you all the best as you implement it. And please don't forget to give us feedback how it is going.
Yes,
Thank you so much. So now, any question, clarification, appreciation of the plan of Sister Emelinda?
Dear Sister Emelinda, compliments, congratulations.
Thank you,
Your first part of the plan works on giving formation for your own sisters and JPIC and networking. One of the last actions that you proposed is giving online and on-site training for your sisters on certain themes. Today, there are certain themes which are very urgent. For example, the fundamental question, why the rich nations are becoming richer and poor nations are becoming poorer. If you see after this war between USA, Israel and Iran, many developing countries' money has gone down in its value, whereas euro and dollars are increasing. Why? As you know, our people are working the same, but our economy goes down, some others' economy go up. That means we need to question the international economic system that is there. For example, for what the International Monetary Fund is working, how the World Trade Organizations are working. Do they promote distributive justice? So certain training can be given on the prevailing economic system, which is very unjust. Often we speak about environmental justice, ecological justice, and the people have deprived of all the minerals on the land. Now they are moving towards the sea. Now they are going to have deep sea mining. And then now they have brought biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction, BBNJ recently. What is its content? Can this really preserve the sea and the ocean? So these types of questions, topics can be also dealt. And I have one doubt. The last dormitory project, no? Maybe you can explain what do you mean by dormitory project, how it is helpful to the people. Thank you.
Father, sorry, I did not get the last one.
You had one project showed a project called dormitory project.
Dormitory.
Yeah, I don't understand what it is. Kindly explain. Thank you.
In Bangladesh, we serve the Garo tribe girls belonging to grade 3 to grade 10. They come from far village, and to be able to study not in the city, but to be able to study in Catholic school they have to stay in a dormitory near the school. So we just facilitate their education by this dormitory apostolate, and they pay a very minimal amount of money. And we are in collaboration with our foundation in Spain to sustain their needs, educational needs.
Yeah, that's wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Father.
Any other comment, compliment, question for Sister Emelinda? Appreciation. Okay, so Sister Emelinda, thank you so much. It is really a great project. I'll be waiting to hear how it is going.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome. So now we will go to the next presenter, who is Sister Hermana Iwa, SSPS. So welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, please.
Speak in Spanish. Sister Eva Ruska, servant missionary of the Holy Spirit, and this is journeying together as SP, but let me clarify that Mexico, our congregation works within 50 countries, but I'm in charge of this area only in Mexico, and I don't have a team per se. I coordinate all the work of the sisters, and we are 25 in Mexico, but I think that we do an extraordinary work. So we work in Mexico City, in Chiapas, Oaxaca as well. We have a mission in another state, but I am going to focus on these three. And my plan is very different from Sister Emelinda's plan because I focus in activities where I am going to participate, that I am going to implement. It is a very realistic plans that I can carry out. And we started this plan in January this year. And what I have seen, I needed to coordinate the work among the communities and make sure that we let everyone know what we are doing. What I wrote here, the context. Mexico faces a marked regional inequality between the industrialized north and the rural south, which is characterized by insecurity, violence, informal employment, and poverty. In light of this reality, we, the missionary servants of the Holy Spirit, are present in 3 states across the country, responding to the signs of the times with a way of life that is rooted in justice and peace. Our mission focuses on accompanying vulnerable groups such as migrants, women in situation of prostitution, Indigenous people, vulnerable families, children of working mothers, the elderly, and the sick. The objective of the plan, what did I put here? Like putting all our strengths together to respond to the cry of earth, to the cry of the poor, to respond the urgencies, keeping in mind the objective of the Laudato Si. Of course, we work in a more concrete way, the cry of the earth, the cry of the poor, ecological economy, adoption of sustainable lifestyles, ecological education. Here, this is an introduction because we have many activities, but these are the ones that each community carry out. We have the plan of the Laudato Si for the communities, and it is evaluated every year. So I have to motivate the sisters because this is already done. And our activities, our apostolate, serving the vulnerable communities. And also we fight for the dignity and rights of the women, and specifically for women in prostitution. And this is in Mexico, Indigenous women. This is in Oaxaca, working mothers, person and group accompaniment. That is also in Oaxaca. We have food pantries, visits, listening, workshops, and courses. We also give humanitarian support for migrants. We have 2 houses we take care of housing, food, healthcare, counseling. We started a new project in Chiapas, medical care for different communities in the parish, together with an organization. I can't remember the name right now. We support each other. The pastoral for the indigenous people in Oaxaca. For support for vulnerable families, the shelter, the communities we work. Here we have a project through J Stanman's. It's a shelter where we actually welcome the children of working mothers or poor families. And in the communities where we also work, we also give scholarships, food pantries, visits, listening ministries, etc. Care for the elderly. This implies visits with communion, pastoral listening, prayer, and we have a sister that is working with the dioceses and with the pastoral workers from different parishes, also with inmates. This is the foundation that I use for my plan, for my next plan for next year. The activity 1 in February and March, visit to the communities to understand their reality and jointly review proposal for specific activities in JPIC. As I mentioned before, it's a beautiful work, and I try to help to make sure that that there's more connection and communication among us. So my indicator is the five communities participating, and we've had a very good response from all the sisters. Activity 2, creation of a Facebook page, and this is to promote justice and peace through motivation. So this is to publicize our activities, sharing news, invitations, informations. As I said, also celebration. We do a lot of promotion. So we try to people to get to know us, and the way we do this. One of the ways we do this is through Facebook. Activity 3. Summary of visits and commitments. I have done this. I've already sent all the results to the communities for a follow-up, because sometimes we do something, but there's no follow-up. So that's one of the steps that we have to do. We have to have a recap and continuing motivating the communities and the sisters as well. Activity 4. Promotion of Earth Day, creating flyers and prayers materials. This is something that we do all the time. We get together with the communities. We decide how to do it and when to do it. I listed all the activities here, things that we are promoting through social media, sending flyers, sending materials to encourage other people, just to remind them that they have to pray. Now we have in April, we have Earth Day, and today, on April 3rd, we have the Day of the Child, so the children's right. So we promote the children's right through Facebook and WhatsApp. So all the sisters are resending the material that I put in WhatsApp and Facebook. They repost and resend. Activity number 6 is the same. It's on May 1st. It's the same. It's an International Workers' Day, so it's the same thing. It's creating flyers and prayer materials for awareness. Next, we are working on the climate change. So in May, I am going to send a very specific material to make sure for the sisters to work with. We have a sister that is an expert with all this, and she will present a lot of topics and parishes, universities, but also we notice that we have to deepen this whole topic a little bit more. So activity 8 is also the activity of promotion of Environment Day by creating flyers and prayer materials, and we have an old JPIC promoter manual. It's old, but I realize that we don't really know it. So it is old, but we're kind of discovering it now. So I want to promote this because this is something that can motivate us in continuing searching for responses for how to help the vulnerable communities. And as JPIC, we collaborate with Vivat International, and we have a Vivat Mexico with 8 different congregations. So we work all together, and in July, we have a workshop titled Dialogue for Peace. All the 8 congregations are going to is going to participate with sisters of each community. So the activity is participatory, and then share this workshop with the sisters and with the people we work with. So again, activity 11 is promoting the human trafficking issue. This is a necessity, and we have been working for many years with women in situation of prostitution in Mexico. So there are activities related to that. I wanted to women get together, and we always give them a formation in Mexico City. There is a sister that will visit women on the street and organize different activities for them together with Talita Kum in Mexico. So these are activities that already are organized. So what I do here, I included it here. So we promote the day we gather the women for a moment of formation. And next, as I was saying, we have a lot of indigenous peoples in Chiapas and Oaxaca where we work. So we do work with them. And so this is just promotion of the day, of the International Day of World Indigenous People, creating flyers and prayer materials that I share with the communities. This is in addition to all the work that we're already doing with them, but also try to invite more people to collaborate with us as well. And in August, we have planned to share this course. It's going to be shared in the communities. In September, we have a very special moment for the prayer for peace. We always do this constantly, but in September is going to be more focused, more concrete, and we're preparing this with the 8 congregations that we belong with in Vivat. We do this in the parishes, in the communities, and also in September, we are also preparing the material, specific material, some banners. I did not put this here, but we are going, it's like something like a mobile exposition. And on September 15th, it's an International Day of Peace, and we're going to promote this day by creating flyers and prayer materials. A new initiative is this workshop. It's Eco Enigma workshop. This is held in the communities and the institutions that requested it. So this is a commitment that we have entered into during the visit, promote what we're doing and trying to develop this project even further. So we are starting to promote this Eco Enigma workshop. What does this mean? For example, not use chemical fragrances, chemical soaps, like make our own. So make our own using the fruit peels, so to recycle all that. So So this is what we're doing this year with the sisters. We're promoting this. Well, next, so I have the Facebook, but besides Facebook, we are creating another Facebook page for Justice and Peace. This is the next step to be able to share what we're doing even more. So in October, we are going to use the Facebook page to invite people to follow to read our content. And in October, we have the Day for the Eradication of Poverty. So same dynamic, creating flyers and prayer materials and share this with whom we work with. In November, we are planning a meeting with all the communities. We've already have some commitments set forth. We're going to evaluate all this, and then we are going to plan our months. So in November, I'm sorry you cannot really read this very well, but also with these women in situations of prostitution, we have a formation meeting with them, and to give them the opportunity to share their experiences among all, how they were exploited, and always very hard and sad experiences. And in December, well, we started this during the pandemic. We have we started preparing food baskets. We don't do it that much now, but we do it whenever we can. When we see that there is someone in a vulnerable situation, like for example, prostitute and families in the small towns in Mexico. Next, the word, how is your charism relating to all this with your action plan? Well, we decided that JPIC is for each one of us, is our way of life. So our commitment to JPIC in 1987, our commitment to JPIC is an integral part of a spirituality that sees the Trinity as a model for interpersonal relationships and based on the respect for the dignity of the person, equal and unique. For us, working for justice is not an extra activity, but the visible face of our faith in the Holy Spirit who renews the face of the earth. We are servants of the Holy Spirit and it's a trinitary. That's why it's mentioned here, the Trinity of the Holy Spirit. For us, caring for nature is not just about ecology. It's about respecting God's work and recognizing that the exploitation of the earth primarily affects the poorest. It is living communion beyond human being, including all of creation. Now, as servants, we focus on restoring dignity to those who have been marginalized, recognizing in every person the image of God. So results, as a region of Mexico, we have worked for JPIC in a transversal way in our apostolate, assuming a way of life for each servant of the Holy Spirit. In our communities, we manage to care for vulnerable groups, migrants, women in prostitution, the elderly, and the children, families at the risk. However, we still have to unify our power and strength between the different communities and give more visibility to our work. We hope that through the visits and the exchange of the experience, we will be able to better communication and support mutually and in a better way. And then through our Facebook page, we are trying to let people to get to know us, and we try to, and the collaboration with our with the lay people. Comments? With this project, I have focused principally in the proper activities of coordination. We started from the foundation that all sisters are part of JPIC and that this is our way of life. Each community developed its own activities and in a general way mentions the principle. The same way as a region of Mexico, we have a Laudato Si plan. Since the coordination, we assume the responsibility to motivate the execution of the activities of such plan. Therefore, I just limit mentioning the plans that we are working on right now. These are some images. This is Sister Selvi. This is her house in Mexico with the women that are in situation of prostitution. This is a group that we've been accompanying for many years. There's always new ones, but is a group that they are unfortunately called second category group. They don't make enough money for what they do. These are the indigenous people. Here we have images of Chiapas and Oaxaca. Sister Tanya, Mase, I apologize. This is different indigenous people. We work with Mixtecos. Okay, I'm sorry. This is Oaxaca's. This is Mixtecos and Chops in Chiapas. This is support for the vulnerable families. This is a very small project for the kids, for the children. And this is these are the children of working mothers and vulnerable families. Next, this is the work with the migrants. We have taken care of 2 migrant homes. Right now in Oaxaca, no migrants are crossing over due to the situation that we're going through with the U.S., but this is in Chiapas. Not that many migrants, but we are taking care of them. There is a project for indigenous people as well in this house. And formation, this is something very important. This is in our parishes, our institutions. This is where we have a space to offer formation and focusing on justice and peace and creation. I also put these emergent situation. This is in Chiapas, floods, and here we help with the lay collaborators and we do this all the time because we always have a situation of emergency. Thank you.
So I'm saying, well, wonderful, different but wonderful. You see, again, you are building a network of your sisters in Mexico, If you are not connected, how can you connect with other organizations? And I like the way you have brought together all the activities. You put that under JPIC and you can see how much you are doing. Sometimes we do a lot, but we don't know who is doing what. Because when we get to know who is doing what, it motivates us. And this is the work you are beginning to do, to help the sisters see how much you are doing in Mexico. And you connect that also, JPIC, with your Charism. And I think as JPIC promoted, this is what we have to work on, to help our members understand that at the base of our Charism is JPIC. You are approaching it from a different angle, but it is the same thing you are doing. Building network, collaborating, coordinating, helping the sisters to understand the connection between your Charism and JPIC, and to motivate everyone. And again, you are going to visit so that you can understand. It also motivates the sisters. Oh, so the congregation is interested in what we are doing. This is very important, So thank you so much. Thank you so much, because we need to follow up activities. And when we follow up, it motivates the sisters and it helps us to see what is going well, what is not going well, where do we need to improve, and then we can improve that. Connection is very important. So thank you so much for the work that you are doing, and we will be happy to hear how things are going as you continue. So sometimes this is one thing we miss. We don't get the feedback, after the project is implemented. So we'll be very happy to get a feedback from all those who are presenting their projects, so that we know how it is going and we can continue to connect this link. And I don't know if you are aware of the continental JPIC groups that exist. This morning, I forgot to say that if we can try to join those continental JPIC groups also, it will help us really to move together. We share experiences and we motivate one another and we keep on going. If we don't unite, we'll never be like the situation that Father Vincent was mentioning. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. If we don't connect and work against that, things are not going to get better. You see that things are getting worse. So let us be prophetic. We are called to be prophetic in the world. And the more prophetic we are, the more we can contribute to change this world to become the song of Mary. The Lord has put down the proud and exalt the lowly. This is what we want to do. Thank you so much. Any encouragement, comments, or questions, appreciation of the project of Sister Eva?
Sister Jess, I want to make 3 observations. First of all, your annual plan of periodically circulating information to your sisters on World Poor Day, Environmental Day, climate change, so on all this, it's very good. From my experience, I would suggest if these materials are sent in the form of prayer, it reaches the hearts of the religious much more than thinking. Because for thinking, they have a lot of information. Therefore, if you are circulating in the form of prayer, it will be more appealing to them. Secondly, I appreciate in your presentation, you have blurred the faces of the children and the vulnerable people, and you are respecting their rights. It means you are already a transformative person. Congratulations. Third one, your presentation had activities, time frame, indicators. Maybe we need to evaluate periodically. So time for evaluation. If that is added, it will be very good. Compliment, sister. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Any other person who would like to appreciate the work of Sister Ewa, appreciate, comment, questions for clarification?
I am Vanaja. I just want to congratulate the way she presented. It was very concrete, specific, time bound, and it's a group of people in a state, a country where she can evaluate easily, see the progress, and it's a journey, it's a network, and I really appreciate the way she put it very, very concretely, everything with a date. So easy to
Thank you.
Congratulations, sisters.
Yeah, thank you. Any other?
Thank you. I did not want to present something that we were not able to do because we're very few and we all have 1,000 responsibilities. However, I think that my task, my job is to unify, to motivate, and to let everyone know what we are doing.
Yes, yes. Very good.
Muy bien.
Very good. Thank you so much. And we wish you all the best.
So, am I audible?
Yes, you're okay.
Okay, greetings to all. I am Vanaja Jasmine, belonging to the ICM congregation, and I am the congregational JPIC coordinator. And this is our logo based on the theme, let justice flow like a river and righteousness like a never-ending river. Based on that, we designed this one. And we inaugurated the office last year, a permanent office, and I am the coordinator. And it is located in India, since I am in India. So our theme is to make I am Vanaja Jasmine, belonging to the Missionary Sisters of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Generally, we are called ICM Sisters. And the title of the plan is to make JPIC a way of life in all ICMs. For locations, generally we are in 15 countries. I just wrote the main countries where we are actively involved in JPIC. The entire congregation, especially in the Philippines, India, Cameroon, Congo, Burundi, Brazil, Guatemala, and America. Our duration is from March 2026 to December 2027. So in the context, as ICM, inspired by the charism, that is a deep interior life and undaunted apostolic zeal, we say in short, double passion, passion for God and compassion for his people. We have long recognized JPIC as an integral part of our religious missionary life. Over the years, the recommendation of the general chapters have strengthened this vision and led to a deeper understanding of our charism as a religious missionary congregation and gave birth to a commitment to justice, peace, and integrity of creation fostering a right relationship with God and all of creation. So it was from 2010 onwards, it is in all the general chapters, assembly, this had been a talk. So now based on that, responding to the complex reality faced by the world today, we acknowledge the cries of the earth and the cries of the poor, calling for a commitment to share and promote life in all its forms. Recognizing the value of collaboration within and beyond congregation, it has created a permanent structure of congregational JPIC coordinator and local coordinator in each region or in each country. These coordinators would raise awareness of JPIC issues, coordinate local level activities, foster networking with other JPIC related groups. So the objective of the plan is to make JPIC a way of life, embodying justice, JPIC in all aspects of our ICM life, community and ministries, striving to be a visible sign of hope, reconciliation, and ecological stewardship in a wounded world. To create a web of interconnections, interrelationship with lay affiliates, mission partners, collaborate, and network, that means outside and with the ICM communities in mission, and the rest of the greater world for the mission of JPIC to flourish. Then to follow the to discern, see, judge, act, and contemplate in all our JPIC undertaking. And the Laudato Si's goal, when we reflected, we said all the 7 goals are very important. Somehow we are responding to all the 7. So we left it as it is. The activity I have divided into social justice, human rights, ecology, and other things. So first, under the activity of ecology and care for creation, tree planting and gardening in all institutions, kitchen garden in all communities in all regions. This was already decided and discussed in the group. Waste management and plastic reduction awareness campaign and activities in ICM institutions, communities, especially in Congo, India, and Cameroon. Eco-friendly and season of creation prayer and activities in all regions. Based on that, recently we have decided to have a training for all the sisters in the congregation on 8th of October on Laudato Si movement. Laudato Si movement. Then we will create prepare a prayer during the season of creation, and we will have a day of recollection on that day. One day on 16th of September. Then we will conclude the season of creation with a prayer on 4th of October. So we have 3 consecutive program planned for the season of creation. And then each communities will plan the activities and send it to me. Then creation walk, especially in the Philippines, Taiwan, Mongolia, they are specific visit to Sierra Madre Mountains for environmental engagement. Then creating seed balls for mass distribution, that is mostly in the institution. Then teaching the girls cycling for mobility and pollution reduction in India, America, and Cameroon. So the indicators are the sisters and the collaborators become more aware of the eco-friendly system and learn to take care of the common whole. The students will learn to safeguard the Mother Earth, realize the importance to protect the earth for the next generation. Then activity 2, social justice and human rights, that is capacity building on gender justice in Cameroon, India, Belgium. Then sensitization on the welfare and the rights of domestic workers, migrants in India, America, and Burundi. Activities on equal wages and labor rights in India and Philippines. Sensitization against human trafficking in all the regions, knowing the rise of human trafficking in all over the world. We felt the need to have this session for all the regions in wherever ICMs are present. So here the activity is planned from October 2026 to May 2027. Each region they have already given their action plan. So I have consolidated some of them and I have put. So ICM members and community leaders and target groups in Cameroon, India and Belgium have enhanced knowledge, awareness and capacity to advocate and promote gender justice, equality and the rights and the dignity of women within their communities. Can you go up? I put everything in once. Yes, 55% of the domestic workers, migrant workers will, what? Okay. Then activity 3. Workers and the wider community in India, America, Philippines and Burundi are empowered to claim and advocate for their fundamental rights, dignity and welfare. This is the indicator. Then activity 3, peace building and non-violence. Specific training or workshops on peace building and non-violent communication, in particularly in Congo, Burundi, Cameroon, where these are the conflict zones in Africa where we are present. Then participating in solidarity marches and organizing activities on World Day of Peace in India and Brazil to promote global harmony. This one is in August. September also we do. Next year September also we will do. It is in ICM. The indicators are ICM members, community leaders and target groups in Congo, Burundi and Cameroon are equipped with the knowledge, skills and practical tools for peace building and non-violent communication, promote reconciliation and foster a culture of peace and dialogue within their communities and conflict-affected contexts. Activity 4, JPIC Capacity Building Training Program in region-wise. So we felt the need that each region, they must have this capacity building training. So we thought in September, Africa, in November this year in India, in December 2026, Philippines, Taiwan and Mongolia, and in February 2027 in Americas. Then we have also thought of integrating JPIC in the ICM initial and ongoing formation. We have already received the booklet, the copy from the UISG, and we are trying to incorporate it because in the month of June we have meeting with the formators. There they will decide which one to integrate in the formation session. Then meeting with the community leaders and community JPIC members. So we thought of it in next February 2027 because the community members are the community leaders are the main one to be the channel of communication and to give the report, to encourage the members on JPIC activities. So we felt the need to have the meeting with the community leaders. So the indicators are ICM members and JPIC focal persons across all regions are equipped with the knowledge, skills and tools necessary to effectively advocate for and implement JPIC values within their communities and contexts. JPIC values, principles and practices are systematically embedded in the formation journey of ICM members from initial to ongoing formation, ensuring JPIC a core part of ICM identity, spirituality and mission. Then for the community leaders and JPIC members are actively engaged in JPIC initiative at the community level, fostering strong collaboration, accountability and collective action for JPIC. Then we have also a quarterly JPIC newsletter that we have planned. Then regularly posting in the ICM media on JPIC. We have a website page where we are planning to regularly post that each month one region will take charge. Then publishing JPIC booklet containing the session we had in Rome this year and the previous year, and also connecting with our Charism, we are planning to publish a newsletter that will be implemented in August 2026. So the indicators are for the newsletter, ICM members and the stakeholders are regularly updated on JPIC initiatives, events and advocacy efforts promoting greater awareness and active participation across communities. Then for a website, the best practices of one region is adopted and experimented in another region for better results. And 60% of ICM communities know more about what is JPIC and make JPIC a way of life in the communities and the mission places. Then activity 6, prepare a prayer on special days and disseminate to all ICM communities to be prayed. Recently, when the war was going on between Israel, America and Iran, I prepared a prayer for peace and it is prayed every day in all the communities in all over the world in ICM. Then making posters on special days and reels and short videos on special days. So the indicators, that is at least 7 prayers we thought of preparing annually. And I have already put the in charge responsible people who will prepare what. So based on that, each one will prepare it. Each region, local coordinators we will involve. Then sisters become more aware of the special days and could be in solidarity with others. I did not put anything for the budget. How your community charism relates with the activities of your action plan. Maybe slideshow from. So there was a question in 2010. Are we settling for something less than who we are? Are we who we are called to be? These questions and reflection deeply disturbs and led to live with this conscience that we are created one, that we are all small part of the big story of the evolution of the cosmos. So ICM may no longer continue taking part in the culture of globalized indifference. We need to seek unity where there is polarization, belonging where there is exclusion, healing where there is devastation, just relationship where there is exploitation, and life where there is death. So JPIC are distinct yet deeply interconnected values that are imperative in our life and mission. There is a desire across the entire body to make JPIC a way of life. This includes fostering a right relationship with oneself, God and others and all creation. We are constantly invited to move towards the communion of all in Jesus Christ. The spiritual heritage of our mother foundress bequeathed finds its inspiration in the key elements of St. Augustine's spirituality, blended with her double passion for mission, that is passion for God and compassion for his people. And the fruitfulness, there is awareness among the sisters on the JPIC and continuous efforts to make JPIC a way of life, embodying JPIC in aspects of life, in ICM life, communities and ministries. And the comments or the challenges we foresee, the coordinated efforts become difficult as each region has unique realities, uneven engagement, multitasking of sisters, cultural differences, resource limitations. These are. Then pictures, if you see the first picture, we're training against human trafficking. They are all above 80 sisters from Belgium. They actively participate in all the sessions, sign all the petitions, and their active participation inspire each one of us. Here, the sisters from the Philippines protest against corruption. They actively participate, collaborate with the other group. Here you see the trees. Here one few institution has a habit of bringing plant on their birthdays. Any student or a teacher, anybody, if they celebrate birthday, they come bring a plant and it is planted and it's around the campus, school campus. Here all are domestic workers, Women Day celebration. The all domestic workers in Goa, they are celebrating Women Day. So these are some of the posters recently I created, and it is posted in the website or in the social media. Here in Sudan, the sisters with the villages, this South Sudan, we recently started a community there in the conflict zone. So they are working, 2 sisters are there working with the people gardening there behind their house. Then here the sisters bringing from their kitchen garden joyfully their fruit. Here in Brazil, how sisters are helping the women to recycle their products, the waste products. There are so many pictures. I limited to few due to lack of time. Thank you, sister. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Vanaja. Sister Mamalifer, maybe you are on mute.
I'm saying all these presentations are breathtaking. And I feel like saying, like Simeon, let your servant go in peace. This small phrase finally is coming into focus. JPIC as a way of life. If we will understand this, that would be great. And can you imagine already, I can already feel the enthusiasm of your sisters, because you are not bringing something that is extraordinary. Already, you are emphasizing that what they are doing, that is what JPIC is about. And I think I like gardening. Wherever there's a garden, I feel my spirit is is high. Kitchen garden in every region. This is great. And you see already, you are having the fruit, because that is the only way we can contribute to the healing of our common home, and not depending on these multinationals that use chemicals and dump them in the shopping malls, and we go to buy them. We are encouraged to produce whatever we can. Don't go to buy. Whatever you can produce, don't go to buy. And I see how you have integrated that in your plan. That is wonderful. And when we eat what we produce by ourselves, the taste is very different. And you feel that I own it. You have many things, but for the sake of time, I will say really this idea of raising awareness. You see, all of you, you start from your own communities, your own congregations, to raise awareness, and together we build within, and then we build with other people. I really find that is very great. And as you mentioned the kitchen gardens, I just want to say that we have started a regenerative agriculture working group. So anybody who is interested can contact us and you will be put on the list. We started only in September. We have had 2 or 3 meetings, and we are planning to have a webinar in May. We don't know if it will come on, but we are planning. And our focus is on doing agriculture in a way that gives life, not doing agriculture in a way that kills, you know. And there are many sisters who are experiencing this, and they are really interested. They are very, so if you're interested, you let us know, and then you can join the group. So I stop there and I give the chance to other people to appreciate the work of Vanessa, the action plan. And I can say your congregation really makes me proud, you know. Since the time last year or 2 years ago, when the General Council, all of them, including the Superior General, they participated in the workshop. And from there, they took up they did a whole lot of work to establish this office. Very encouraging. Thank you so much, and pass on our gratitude to them.
Yes,
So
sister.
anybody who would like to give appreciation to the plan of Vanessa, or if you have a question for clarification, I'm really impressed. Thank you.
Compliments, Vanaja.
Thank you.
Vanaja is a human rights lawyer, and in the presentation we could see that.
Yeah.
Compliments.
Yeah.
It's a very excellent plan. Also, I could see there are bottom up. You are inspiring the communities, make their programs and send to you. So, a bottom up. The events are very, very inspiring events you have given. Also, the word often repeated, double passion, no? Passion for God and passion for humanity. First, I have learned this word, double passion. And in your program, you have mentioned about human rights. Since you are a human rights lawyer, you can also give formation to the people on Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Women, CEDAW, Convention on the Rights of the Children. These things you can also give training to the people. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you for that.
It's good to know that you are a human rights lawyer. I didn't know anyway, so now you're in trouble. Thank you. Any other comment, compliment for sister?
Just to add my voice to congratulate Sister Vanaja, whom I know for long, and is a pro in this ministry of JPIC since Cameroon. Wherever she goes, she works very, very rigorously and so much commitment. So, sister, we are also your students in human rights and laws. So
include us in the training too, please.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you. That is great. Thank you, sister. Any other comment?
Only want to say thank you very much for this time, for this possibility to share our experience.
Okay, thank you, sister, for appreciating.
I think it's very important for us to hear other person, other experience, and it's possibility to learn more. Thank you.
Yes, welcome. Thank you. Any other comments? Otherwise, we will conclude so that we go to rest.
For me, I am grateful for giving this opportunity to prepare this action plan. It pushed me to think ahead, to plan, to dialogue with the sisters as a whole congregation. What can we do? And make them also in a region-wise to make action plan and incorporate as a congregation one. For that, I am very, very grateful for giving this opportunity.
Thank you. That is wonderful. Yes. At least because they have contributed, they will take responsibility. If you had prepared it, they say, this is her thing, let her, but they have committed themselves by contributing. That is really great. Okay? Thank you. So please don't forget to join the Continental JPIC working groups. We will find a way to let you have to share with you the contact of the coordinators, and you can reach out to them so that you can join them. You know, we have America, we have Asia, we have Africa, we have Europe, and we have Oceania and the Pacific. So let us join hands so that we can work hand in hand together. Because the rich, they join, you know, when they come into public, they are doing as if they are fighting. They're just cheating us. And then after, they go to sit together and they plan how to plunder us. So let us also learn to join hands to work for the poor, you know, so that this world can be transformed. Okay, thank you so much. So already we have a candidate who is interested in the agriculture working group. Lucia, please take note of the email that has been put in the chat, and we will add you. So, dear friends, as we come to the end of these presentations, we are not concluding a process, but rather we are launching a mission. What we have heard today are not simply ideas or intentions, but clear commitments to action. Each plan presented carries the potential to become a visible sign of faith in action, responding concretely to the realities of injustice, suffering, and hope in our world. We are reminded once again of the passage of the Epistle of James, that faith must be lived through works. Therefore, what matters now is not only what has been said, but rather what will be done. In this spirit, let us ensure that every action plan presented today is clearly focused in its objectives, capable of demonstrating real impact, grounded in what is realistically achievable, and deeply attentive to the cries of the earth and the cries of the cry of the poor and the cry of our wounded earth. Each proposal should also include a clear sense of direction and timing, with concrete steps that guide us forward. In this way, our commitments become credible, meaningful, and transformative, rooted in clarity of vision, purposeful action, unity of direction, and a spirit of collaboration that reflects the depth of our shared mission. The witness of Abraham, Jeremiah, Amos, and Jesus himself now becomes our path forward. Like Abraham, we are called to act with trust and obedience, even when the path is uncertain. Like Jeremiah, we are called to remain faithful and courageous, even when our actions are misunderstood or resisted. Like Amos, we are called to speak and act boldly for justice, especially when the poor, the marginalized, and our wounded common home are ignored. Dear friends, the real measure of today's success will not be the quality of our presentations, but the faithfulness of our implementation. Let us leave this space with a shared commitment to act with agency and purpose, to collaborate with openness and responsibility, to evaluate our progress honestly and consistently, to remain prophetic through concrete actions, not just words. May these action plans become living instruments of justice, peace, and integrity of creation. And may our lives themselves become a testimony that faith, when lived fully, transforms both hearts and structures and systems. Let us go forth, not just inspired, but committed to act. Our sincere thanks to each one of you present here and to each one of you presenting a plan. And we would like we pray that your plan bears impactful fruit, not just any fruit, but fruit that has impact. We thank the translators for their help that enables us to listen to and understand one another. Lucrecia and Dalia, thank you very much for your generous service. And I wish each one of you all the best. Tomorrow is a holiday, Workers' Day, St. Joseph. Have a good rest. It's a long weekend, and we thank God for that and blessings. And please don't forget to let us know how your action plans are going. We are grateful for those who have not presented and who are here because we are a community. We are here to support one another and we share in what you are sharing. Thank you so much and blessings to each one of you.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Welcome. Bye. Thank you. Oh, welcome. See you. Thank you.
See you.
Thank
See
you.
you.
See you. Thank you.